Hey, thanks so much for finding the video. Do us a favor. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Be sure to leave your comment. We love to interact. Enjoy the video. NFL has formally approved a 17-game season for 2021. We expected this was going to happen. What are your thoughts as far as this season benefit or doesn't benefit New Orleans?
Well, I don't think it benefits them because it seems like they're going to be playing the Tennessee Titans, and I still think they're going to be pretty good. It benefited them if they were playing someone who stunk, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But look, I don't think it's a major deal. Like, players have been knowing that this is coming for a long time. I'm probably thinking that they feel like that they should not have to do this because they probably deserve more money to do it and maybe an extra week of rest as far as a bye week is concerned. But everyone in the league knew this was coming. And so I don't know if it's a benefit or a bad thing for any team other than the ones who are basically at that point trying to fight for a playoff spot.
So it'll be a 17th game, and the Saints presumably, or not presumably, will have a new starting quarterback. And we presume that it will be Jameis Winston. Did you hear Jameis today talk about being a game manager?
No, I did not hear his comments. I've actually been kind of neck deep in a couple of projects. But that is certainly something. Just give me some reference, and then I'll let you know what I think.
So Jameis was on a podcast today with Weish and Trotter, and essentially said it's one of the things he learned during his last year in New Orleans was I learned not only there's things that I can do, but sometimes things that I can do that I shouldn't do, and that being a game manager doesn't actually have a negative connotation. I looked at it as it's really a mature way to look at how to approach offense. And actually, it's similar with Drew Brees. The more they asked Drew Brees to do in New Orleans, the worse the teams were.
Well, in that sense, the way they used Drew Brees, especially last year, and then, of course, in the last couple of years, I mean, he's been less of a gunslinger, and I don't want to call him a game manager. I feel like that's like an Alex Smith term, and Alex Smith has never been asked to let it fly.
Ryan Tannehill.
So right. Well, Tannehill has been asked to let it fly a little more in Tennessee, and yet they do have a ground and pound game with Derrick Henry. But I feel like it's more of something that they feel like Jameis in his career in Tampa with the numerous offensive coordinators he's had, they've been more of a downfield offense, and maybe he's noticed that doesn't have to be that way all the time, and especially in the last year under Bruce Arians, I mean, it was definitely downfield all the time, and that was part of that Tampa's defense wasn't that good when he was playing that year, and so I feel like he's learned under a new offensive quarterback guy. And I think we can point to Sean Payton and Pete Carmichael, and even though Joe Lombardi's not there, like you talk about Payton and Carmichael, they can adapt to what they have. And I feel like maybe someone like Bruce Arians isn't that way. And we saw it early in Tom Brady's tenure with Tampa that they were going so much downfield and it wasn't working. And then they finally were able to kind of get it working. But, I feel like it was a similar style. And so I get where Jameis is coming from. And I think it goes along all the lines, say, when he met with the media last week about just maturing and learning under Drew Brees. And it's basically just a new mind frame, new style of how to play. And I think he's ready to embrace kind of the happy medium between gunslinger and game manager.
Do you think the Saints are going to draft a quarterback still?
No, I don't.
Okay.
And
they're at Alabama's. Go ahead.
No, and you and me have joked about a lot. Kyle Trask, this, that, and the other.
I wasn't joking.
Past few months. Well, anyway, I've done it on purpose to needle you, but in that sense, I don't see the point. If you don't love a quarterback, I don't see the point in doing it right now. And so I don't see that they have to unless they say, hey, let's give Ian Book a shot, somebody like that. But I don't see it as a necessity because if you wanted, say, a veteran to maybe be that backup quarterback between Jameis and Taysom to allow Taysom to be that guy, why not have it just be Trevor Siemian? I mean, he's actually won games in the NFL. I mean, it doesn't sound great, but to me, why not do that for a year and then see where that goes?
Larry Holder's with us on Twitter at Larry Holder. So Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis were at Alabama's Pro Day. Clearly, they're not looking at Mac Jones because it seems like every quarterback is going to be going to the top 5 picks. Who do you think they might have been looking at today at Pro Day?
I would think someone like Patrick Surtain. I think if there's someone that they would trade up for, I think it would be someone like him. I'm not saying they're going to do it, but if they really love a corner, I think he might be someone that they might possibly move up and trade up for. They're in the market for a linebacker. Maybe they're trying to check out Dylan Moses. Even someone like Najee Harris. Look, last year they were definitely intrigued with Jonathan Taylor coming out of Wisconsin. So if they are intrigued with him and he's lurking around, maybe that's someone they look at. And so, it's something to where those positions, maybe they want to see Jalen Waddle, maybe they want to see Devontae Smith because they're in the market for wide receivers. And I'm not even looking at some of the guys up front, but still, but there's enough spots where the Saints have some needs that Alabama is not too far away for them to go full blast. And then I'm sure they're going to circle back around and be in Baton Rouge tomorrow. That would be my guess.
Yeah. Any thought on the Saints signing defensive end Tano Pasano from Kansas City?
Like, I knew they were interested in him back in 2017 in the draft. I remember actually in one of probably the 7,000 mock drafts I was doing at the time at TimesPickUnitNola.com. I mean, I had him slated probably a couple times to the Saints. Similar build to someone like Marcus Davenport, but I had him stay like a third-round pick when they were looking at him. So, like, I think it makes sense. He's not going to break the bank. It doesn't make you have to reach for a defensive end early in the draft. But, again, if you're in love with one, go for it. But still, it gives you someone who's played for 4 years and can come in and play right away in a rotational role. Maybe not be a star, but someone you can at least say, okay, we can have him play a bunch of snaps.
Do you have a strong feeling on a player or position that the Saints should fill in veteran free agency before the draft next month?
I would say corner, but it depends on the price. And of all the players, there are a bunch of veteran, notable names out there, and yet they're all aging. They would be a quick fix. And we've seen the Saints try to go with a quick fix at cornerback before with a veteran, a la Champ Bailey, a la Brandon Browner, and both of them have blown up in their face. I mean, Bailey didn't even make the team, and Browner only picked up the most penalties in the history of the sport in 1 year.
What about Richard Sherman?
I mean, he's someone who I think can still play, but he's still in that category. Man, if you liked Richard Sherman, why did you get rid of Janoris Jenkins? I mean,
price tag?
More behind the scenes there. I mean, there's no doubt about that, but what is Jenkins asking for and what is Sherman asking for? But still, I feel like that any of these guys you're going to pick up, it would be a 1-year thing, and you're trying to basically find a bridge with someone who I feel like that they're in the draft, and I feel like a corner, you could look day 1, day 2, and I feel like you can get a good one. And I mean, the last time the Saints did a day 2 corner who started right away was Tracy Porter, and I feel like you might be able to find someone like that in this draft. I'm not saying he's going to pick off a ball in the Super Bowl and win it for you, but he started for 4 years, so hey, not bad.
Saints also took a second-round safety / corner in Stanley Jean-Baptiste, and that's like a 4-letter word.
That could be a 2-letter word, too, if you wanted to really get bad about it. But still, it is something that
A two-letter word or a
two-letter
word?
acronym. An acronym. A two-letter acronym.
A hyphenated word or a 13-letter word? Is that what you're thinking?
It could be anything. It's all bad. None of it's good. But that was a definite project.
Okay.
And the Saints were feeling like they could reach. I don't think the Saints feel like they can reach now, just because I think they've got to have a lot of these players come in and play. You can't gamble on some of these picks just because the middle part of your roster has been kind of eaten up. And so they got to make these guys come in and be legit players right away, as opposed to, all right, Zach Bond, we can make him into a starting middle linebacker, even though he's never played the position before. And Cesar Ruiz, we're going to start him, but we're going to start him at the position he's not totally comfortable with. And then in 2018, look at that draft. We've seen examples where they've reached on, not necessarily reached, but didn't have to have these guys come and play right away. I feel like this is a different scenario.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.